Season 6 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat, a conversation providing tips for every entrepreneur and business owner.
We are all going to hit low points as business owners. Host Selena of How Will Socially Inspired and Anna of No Matter About with guest Samantha Beaumont, MSCP, a pre-licensed marriage and family therapist, chat about how to handle these moments and when self-care becomes important in today's show when things go wrong in business.
So we're actually re-recording the intro to this show. This is not the original version. But don't worry, we're going to show you the original version. But if there could have been a more perfect storm start to this show topic when things go wrong in business, I don't know what it could have been.
Yeah, this was literally, it showed you all what to do, what not to do when what happened today. It was the very first time, actually since our very first show that we did, that we had such a hot mess of a start. But we were very prepared. So we wanted to make sure we re-recorded so that way you don't think this is how our show actually starts. But we're going to just show you a fast clip of the madness that happened and then we'll start. So thank you for watching our show.
We're so glad you're here with us.
Yes.
If you tuned into the original, thank you for sticking with us. If you didn't, you never know what's going to happen on the 15-ish minute coffee chat. So we hope we'll see you again soon.
Yeah. Bye. Enjoy the show.
I just want to say welcome to season 6 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat, a conversation providing every entrepreneur and business owner tips and tricks. And today's conversation, much needed.
Oh yeah. We're going to hit all the low points as a business owner. Host Selena of How Will Socially Inspired and Anna of No Matter About with guest Samantha Beaumont, MSCP. If you don't know what that is, she'll let us know. Pre-licensed marriage and family therapist, chat about how to handle those moments and when self-care becomes important.
Yes.
I poop you not, guys. Today was not planned like this. We were on top of it. It was like gonna happen. Yeah.
We even had a conversation about how having it at noon allowed us this whole morning to prep to be ready to go for this coffee chat. Mm-hmm. And then literally in the last 25 minutes, anything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah, totally did.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, for your own business,
Oh, wait, we're sharing a computer, but now we don't have to. Now I can switch.
We are going to, yes. So we're just going to do this. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is awesome, how are you rating your business? It can be for today. It can be for the last 25 minutes because right now it's a big fat 1 is happening right here.
You guys, 1. We are a 1. Yes. But now we know we're going to be a 2. So now we're excited. We're gonna open up 2 of our laptops sitting right next to each other like they're the best friends that they've always been. And we're going to just log in. So give us 1 second. I'm going to actually share. We're going to share this like a lovely screen of our guest. Mm-hmm. So bear with us. It's going to be great. There we go. Okay. So Anna, give it a read.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our guest today. Samantha Beaumont is a pre-licensed marriage and family therapist living in Honolulu, Hawaii. She's working as a behavioral health specialist for the Honolulu School District. Samantha is a self-proclaimed therapy nerd who is constantly looking for new and old ways to help others. When she's not nerding out on therapy, Samantha is kept busy with her family, especially her soon-to-be 5-year-old son, Nalu, who is adorable and who constantly reminds her of the importance of her own self-care. So before anything else goes wrong, we're bringing in Samantha.
We are. So let's move this bad boy out.
Good morning for me and good afternoon for you.
Oh my gosh. You guys, hold on real fast. That way we both have 2 things. Welcome to the show.
I'm so happy to be here today, especially in this setting that we've had today. I told Anna as we were waiting during, transitioning, that this really is something like seeing the topic in action. So,
I mean, if we were to set up and be an example for our viewers, this was it.
Yes, it really was. Like this was not on purpose, I promise you. But I just have to run through the events because Samantha was here for the whole thing. She popped on the 20 minutes before we started, just like she was supposed to, ready to go. And then in that time frame, Selena's internet went out. She drove to my house. There's a giant thunderstorm happening outside. She gets to my house and we're trying to set up so you can see both of us on the screen.
Yeah.
And then on top of all of those things, that video would not turn off. So the first 4 minutes is us trying to figure out how to turn a video off. I mean, we literally deleted it from the entire stream.
We deleted it from the entire world. We were like, I don't know what's happening. And so it's like, but here's the funny thing. We were in different seats. So like, no, you sit here. No, I'll sit here. No, you. My laptop's not on. Then me and Emma are literally trying to do the mouse pad at the same time for 2 different actions. So before we really started, Samantha was like, hey, okay. So I guess we're going to have a mental health specialist on today. This is the moment for her to tell us it's okay. So
yeah. So the first thing we'd like to do is we'd love for everyone to join us in a coffee cup selfie because we need a moment to just breathe. So if you can just take one big deep breath in and get out your coffee cup that you brought. Look, mine even says hugging a mug.
Oh, wait, I'm trying to get so you can see it.
Oh, go with the flow.
Go with the flow. I love it.
And we sure did today, guys. All right. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. All right.
Okay. That was perfect.
Cheers. Cheers, Monday. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. What is our next thing? What are we doing?
So we're just going to jump right into our conversation. Selena and I have reworked our show. We're really pushing to make it 30 minutes every time so that it's a good, concise, wonderful conversation that we're going to have. So we have a question to start off with Samantha. Samantha, what is one thing you regularly do for yourself? Not for your family, not for your son, not for your work, but for you.
It's funny because I was thinking about this question and I realized that the thing that I do for myself actually changes. So like the actual activity or thing that I do. So it really depends on my moment. So I guess what I do often is check in with myself to see what I need. So I think that's the most consistent thing, but otherwise, reading or probably watching Netflix or something like that. Just something that helps me chill and do something that my brain doesn't have to be on all the time.
Yeah. Can you tell me, like, when you say check in with yourself, what's the process for you to do something like that?
So that's another really good question because I always say I hear whenever I have certain things like that, and Selena actually has called me on like, can you just come up with an answer, like a straight answer? We've had this conversation many a times, but whenever I have these things is I hear my mentor, because I know you've talked a lot about mentor, and any of the people involved in that person's life knows that it depends is a really big catchphrase for her. So like I said, right now, one way that I've done checking in with myself is I actually have like a little journal and I will mark how I'm feeling, like on whatever scale I'm using throughout the day. Sometimes like one of the things I wanted to, when we get there, I had a little check-in idea for both of you, but it's something that we can do to kind of say, hey, if we're going to use weather, for example, we've got a thunderstorm going on outside and I don't know, maybe inside, but we can see what are you feeling at that moment? Like, if we're going with the 1 to 10, are you feeling at a 10 right now, a 9, a 7? Are you feeling sunny, stormy, like
Mhm.
you're, I don't know, in a frozen snowstorm. What's going on for you right now? And based on how I'm feeling, I'll use that to dictate what it is I need to do for myself in that moment.
Ooh. So guys, could you answer Samantha? We're checking in. Let's all check in. How are you feeling? Rate yourself right now. Are you 1 to 10? Me and Anna just said we're a 1, but I think I've moved up to a 5 now because, we're coming down from the high intensity of the stress level that we just went through, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
And that's actually a really good example of why it's good if you can checking in with yourself multiple times a day, because just 10 minutes ago you were at a 1. So then you needed something different than you might need right now at a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Samantha does actually have a question for us she'd like to ask. And Anna said I had to go first. So
I did.
Go ahead, Sammy. Shoot.
So, I'm going to be honest. I had something a little bit more queued up, but because of the events of today, I'm curious. What are you going to take away from what happened this morning as you go forward into the next phase or the next show, the next prep?
What are you going to take?
She's like, you're going first. What's funny that you say this, but right as I was frantically driving the 5 minutes to Anna's house, I was like, dang, I should have an emergency bag. Like, how like those pregnant moms are going to go to like the hospital and they have that like bag ready to go.
A go bag.
I need to have an emergency go to Anna's house bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's what today taught me. Like, I wasn't sure what we were going to do for our setup. I was like, me and Anna are going to, maybe I'm going to go into her kitchen. Maybe I'm going to go in upstairs. I wasn't sure. And I thought, I didn't bring my webcam. I don't know. I bought things that didn't make sense because I was frantic. So yes, totally, John, a go bag.
Go bag.
To me, that's what that taught me was I hate not being prepared. And so this gave me I've honestly never had a problem like this ever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was feeling a little confident in myself. I'm like, this will never happen. So it reminded me that I need to always be ready.
Yeah. I think for me, I would answer the same question, but I would say the anxiety that this kind of a situation causes me is that I'm putting other people out. So the people that were tuning in right on time to watch the show, the first thing was we had to start late, right? Because we had to figure out the configuration of both of us being in the same space and, kind of that last minute stuff. And then second, when we did start the show, that video that wouldn't turn off and it was not quiet. It was so loud. I mean, Heidi was like, it's so loud. I'm like, I know it's so loud. I don't know what to do. And us both trying to communicate or connect on one computer screen because Selena's was still trying to get, so it was that thought in my head of, we're failing the people who are with us somehow. Right. We're failing the people that are watching. We're failing our audience, and they're not going to like me anymore.
Yes,
in that sense.
Right.
So I think for me, then it comes down to reminding myself, and I'm going to put this out there in the universe just for everybody watching right now too, because I think they probably feel this way, but to remember to give yourself some grace, like one mistake or one issue or one problem does not a bad business person or a failure make you.
Right.
It doesn't make you a failure in that sense. And so I think maybe just giving yourself that grace for that moment to say, it's okay. Thank you everyone for hanging in with us. Mm-hmm. Here we are now actually chatting.
That was really, can I just share what I just watched this morning? Gary V, who I obsess over, he had said, look, you have to just try. At least you're giving it your all. So even if you fail in the business, you fail in the product launch, you fail in the whatever, but the fact that you gave it all, you don't have to go back and say, did I give enough to make it work? Because we did everything today, right? To make it work. So that just made me think of that. So anyway.
Yeah. So, and then it's also acknowledging, Oh yeah, no, go ahead, please.
I was
Go.
just going to say, I wanted to add just a follow-up question in there with what are all the things that went right today that still made this happen, even after all of the stuff that went on? Because it's really important when we're dealing with things that go wrong in business, to also recognize all the ways that it's gone right and that has led you to still be able to go today, to put this show on.
Here's my favorite part.
I know.
My favorite part. I'm in the same space as
Yes.
the person I love.
Like we are literally inches apart. And this was not planned, but it's like the best part of my day. So that is the thing that went right, is maybe the big guy upstairs is like, look, I'm going to put a lot of chaos into your day because I need you guys to be physically in the same space. That's what went right. So, you know,
I can say I
Yes,
got a little extra time to jam out to your opening sound, a song that I got to listen to. Thankfully, it's a really great song.
Yeah. Thank you. There's another thing that went right. We chose good music. There
Right?
you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for looking for the
Oh
bright
my
side.
gosh, you guys, seriously. And it's funny. And so here's what's going to happen. Obviously, that's going to be edited out on YouTube. So, you know, those that are watching the replay will be like, what are they talking about? No worries. Anyway, we kind of like that. We had like 2
I think
minutes.
you should leave it in.
No, that's true, right? No, but I feel like, okay, maybe we'll have to put a video in before saying, hey, bear with us. You're going to have to see how today went. But here, real fast, like the question that came from, actually, I don't even know. I lost my train of thought.
Well, the question that we wanted to bring in is like, I think every business and every person, she's lowered her chair, so we be the same height. So anyway, every business and every person has a moment like what we had this morning, where something goes critically wrong and you're anxious and you're stressed out and you're frustrated and you might not know how to resolve it. You might not even know what to do. I mean, we were pushing buttons. We were refreshing screens. We closed down computers. We did not know what to do to fix it in that moment. And so when people do hit that point, when your business is not going well, what can you do to maintain that good mental health headspace where you can still function, make it through, and not feel like that dramatic failure, or, you know, like you just totally destroyed everything you've just built. Or people like, you know, I mean, I was being facetious, but the people aren't going to like you anymore, right? Because I mean, when you are your brand, especially as a small business owner, that's a really important thing, that loyalty and trust and customer relationships, right? Client relationships. So anyway, what would you say when your business isn't going well, what can you do to maintain that good mental health space?
Well, one of the first things I always go to is when you're anxious and things are going wrong, you start to feel it in your body first. Like maybe your hands start sweating or your heart starts beating, or literally you're like, oh my God, okay. So you're moving around. So the first thing that I try to do is literally calm my body by trying to do whatever relaxation things help you. Different things help different people. There's no one right way, but usually the things that I'll do are I take deep breaths, and like there's this thing called diaphragmatic breathing, but basically it's kind of really breathing in to your diaphragm and slowly releasing out. So if you guys want to do it, we can do that right now.
Yeah.
I know
just a quick.
So like the air
there's
in your belly, like not.
Yeah, and a good way, and I mean, I know you can't see below, but some people, when they're trying to make sure they're doing it right, they'll put one hand on their chest and one hand on right kind of above their belly button where the diaphragm is, and you breathe and try to make sure your lower hand moves more than your top hand. So if you can keep this hand kind of still.
I can't do it.
And you know what it is? It's a skill. It's not innate. So it's something that you have to practice, but by knowing how to feel where it's happening, you can do that practice. And even though we want to do like, you do in through your nose, like, and out through your mouth slowly.
I hope everyone's doing this with us.
Yeah.
Make sure, yeah.
I'm more focused on trying to get this hand to move and it's not doing it.
And it's okay. So there's, like I said, it takes practice, and the fact that we're starting this today, because we don't want to make your relaxation thing give you more anxiety. So that is something you can practice with, or you can change it up. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. There's different things that work for different people. Another one that I'll actually teach the kids too is, it's kind of a tense and release thing. So it helps you recognize what it feels like to be tense and what it feels like to let your body release that stuff. So you can just even do it as simple as like squeezing your fists for, I don't know, maybe like 3 seconds, and then letting it go, like opening your hand and feeling. Yeah. And I've actually done it with different kids, like where, with little ones, they kind of do their whole body thing. So we always like take a breath in and squeeze, and then you hold it, like you hold your face all scrunched, you hold your body all scrunched together, and then you just let it go. Because it helps your body.
I can do that.
Yeah.
So like having a stress ball, I feel like I can handle that more than I'm trying to make my diaphragm go up. I'm like, it's not doing it.
It was stressing her out.
Right.
So I will say that when I'm trying to go to sleep at night and my brain won't stop, I definitely do the intense stress, like the, squeezing my toes really tight, and I move up my body that way, tensing and then releasing the major muscle groups. And it is definitely a very good way to relax. So I love that that's like the first thing to start with, is to get your body connected to what's happening, like to get your body and your mind connected so that you're not like completely like falling apart in every aspect.
Right.
And so what's the next step, right? Yeah. So now you're connected. You're like, okay, and then what do you do next?
So once your body has calmed down, it also helps your mind to be a little bit clearer. So you can actually take a moment to be asking yourself, okay, what do I need to get to the next place? Just like you're asking. So now our body is calm, and we were able to say, again, for example, this morning, what do we need to do? Okay, Selena needs to get in her car and drive over so that we can still make this happen.
And when you and me chatting today.
Right. I would have gone on Facebook.
And it would have been totally awesome either way.
Absolutely.
So
okay, so you're
grounded, sorry, go ahead.
And then what? No, you're grounded, and then we're putting into action because our minds are clear, and that helps us kind of like see things better and make better decisions for what we need to do to get out of our low point. Is that what you're saying?
That's definitely one of the ways that you can get there. Once you can kind of figure out what your needs are in that moment, then you can start figuring out how to meet those needs. And if you can't, say you're like, I still don't know what I need to do, then my biggest thing that I do is I reach out to my support people. I try to build a good network of support people that may have different strengths, that I can be like, okay, this is happening. I need to call so-and-so either to help talk me down or to help me figure out what I need to do next, or all of like any number of things, depending on, again, what your needs are in that moment. So I would say once you are able to do that, one, it helps you feel not alone. Because sometimes, especially I would think in small business, when you're trying to like putting your heart and soul into something, it's not working. You're physically by yourself. You're like, what the hell am I going to do? So you find a way to connect, because that person can give you another perspective. That person can help you feel connected and just get you to another space. So, I mean, I can even just see how it changed when Selena actually walked in the room. I think even though we were trying to figure out, how to get things working, you could actually still see both of you had a slight, like, kind of like a little bit of tension release. Maybe not fully, but there was a little bit of tension release. And I'll say Anna and I she was like, "Oh, Selena's here." Okay, so it and I was like, "Okay, things are moving in the right direction." Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. You know what? That actually makes a lot of sense, like what you're saying. And it's funny. It's almost like you have to write that down, because when you're in a moment of panic, sometimes it might be hard to remember. Hey, Samantha said 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
What is the physical?
Connect your physical, like calm your
Right.
physical down, and then and then you can make a decision. And if you can't make a decision, to reach out to your peer group for some guidance and help. I think having a mentor also, this is something that's been kind of a topic of conversation in recent circles, but just having a mentor or somebody that you really trust that can not make the decision for you, because you want to be in charge of your own business and the way your business goes, but can give you some of those pros and cons for the way the choice might go. Now, clearly today we had like a fire drill. There was no like calling the mentor and asking what we should do. There was no reaching out to the peer group. It was like we had to make a decision right away. We're shutting down the live stream. We're going to have to reschedule for another time. We're going to let that music play in the background the entire time. I mean, whatever the decision is going to be at that moment.
Oh my gosh.
But when you do,
just made me think of something. I'll share it after.
Yeah. But when you do have a little bit of time, I love those kind of 3 steps that you just gave us.
Yeah.
You know, so that's awesome. I'm going to put them in comments so everybody can remember the 3 steps as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, really good answers, Samantha. Like that's just like breaks it down into the 1, 2, 3. Here's where you go.
Yeah. The reason why I was laughing when Anna said fire drill is I don't know if you know my background. I did work in the restaurant business for 20 some years and in management. So that means when something goes down, I am responsible and in charge of making a decision. And I remember we had a kitchen fire once. And I was like, wow, I got to get the fire extinguisher. But I wanted to grab, like, I don't know if anybody knows what's an ANSOL system. It's literally the system that, like, when you see, like, white foam come down in the big kitchens, big fires, that's not what you grab. But I was intent on, like, grabbing some huge thing off the wall to save the day. So I got you guys covered if there's ever a thing. But, so, okay. Sam, we are going to go move on to the part where we can have people find you. Where can they find you? So I'm going to like pop this up so you can kind of share with everybody. Hold on, guys. Look, here's the deal too. Samantha is not a huge social media person. She like enjoys life, focuses on these things instead of like getting stuck up in the social media. And so when we were chatting, I was like, right, LinkedIn, that's a good place. Yeah. So Sam, would you say, hey, come follow me there. Let's connect.
Yeah, actually, I have gotten more, I'm going to say more active with a very serious like asterisk on that, from not at all to I scroll through at least now. But I do actually like making connections there. And I like that it has more of a, it is for professional connections. And I think that's what I really see the value in. And you can tell that the content there is a lot more related to, what I'm looking for when I want to be in my, like business headspace.
Yeah. No, for sure. So
yes, I'm there and I will connect.
Yes. Yay. Yeah. That's the word. Connect.
Absolutely. And how good is it to have somebody like Samantha in your back pocket, right? Like, this is one of those people that you can say, I'm struggling. What should I do? And then she's there for you.
Right. So remember, she's in Hawaii. So don't forget the Hawaii time frame. So if she doesn't respond to you, it could be because she's still sleeping. So, okay. Then next thing, Anna is going to like drop down some of our
tip jar. Yeah. So we're getting ready to close out our show, and we like to close it out with this financial tip jar, because we are at the 15-ish minute coffee chat. So here's a tip for you, our viewers. But today's tip jar: when paying yourself, transfer the money from your business account to your personal. Do not pay for personal items, groceries, gas, mortgage, etc. from your business bank account. I mean, step one is make sure you have a business bank account. Step two,
Yeah.
make sure you're paying out of your business
Yes.
bank account, please.
Yeah. So thank you, Caitlin Eldridge, for that tip. We're going to have a couple of wonderful finance people this season throwing out their tips. So we're excited.
Yeah.
And then we have something really cool we want to share.
I know. So as part of today's topic, Selena and I created the Baby You So Fly guide.
Yes.
So yes, it's the You So Fly guide, and it's full of fun affirmations that we've come up with, Selena and I, and then also Samantha has some in there. This is fun. And bonus Spotify playlist for when you're really feeling down and you need to funk things up and just feel better.
Yes.
We got a Spotify playlist that you can QR code and connect to and just get your groove on, feel better, be happier, all those kinds of things.
Yeah. We will drop the link. It's funny, like I said, today we have the link, but our comment section is not wanting to just like work with us today. But we have the link for you to grab it. There's some affirmations Samantha has contributed. And we have a Spotify playlist that you can jam out to while you're working, because why not?
Yeah, so go grab our You So Fly guide.
Yeah.
It's in our free resources section. And it's just a fun way to remind yourself that even if things aren't going right, you can still have a good time doing what you love the most, which is one of the reasons why hopefully you even started your own business or you are an entrepreneur.
Yes. Right? So, well, Anna, I think we're done.
Yes. So, okay. So next week we have a guest, Abby Peretz. She's the founder of Successful Freelance Mom. She is a freelance writer and she has 5 kids and she manages to have a very profitable and awesome career despite being a mom and having 5 children and having to do all the things that entails. So if you are looking for a way to earn some income and you're freelancing is maybe the way you want to go, next week's conversation is one that you will not want to miss.
Yeah, she's coming in from out of the country, guys.
She is. She's traveling, so we're going to be bringing her in from Israel, actually, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah,
yet another international guest, which is really kind of fun for us.
I know. I feel like that Backyardigans song way back when. Anyway,
right.
But Samantha, thank you for coming on. Thank you for kind of being the first guest for season 6. If we haven't said this, Samantha is actually my younger sister, and I am so proud of her. Seriously, as an older sister, there's just like that you see them in their glowing expertise, and she is going to be fantastic, and I cannot wait to see more that comes from her. Not just because she's my sister, but legit, like we did some things when she was here in Texas a couple of weeks ago, and so she's truly fascinating. So thank you, sis, and Samantha and Sam for joining the show, and thank you for everybody else that
thanks for hanging in there with us. We'll see you next week without all the glitches.
Promise.
Fingers crossed.
All right, bye guys.
Bye. Thanks everybody.